Setting your throttle free play is one of those really easy adjustments that makes your bike feel more responsive and makes it easier to ride smoothly. Okay, I will show you how in this video. Your throttle is one of the most important control, so I got to be precise. Most manufacturers recommend between 2 or 3 millimeter at the throttle free play. But over time your cable is gonna stretch. I say maybe a 5,000 miles, you start to feel a stretching slightly, not really a lot, but so it's gonna get settled in the housing inside, so it will stretch a little bit. So once in a while you really need to adjust it, because you're going to have a delay between your wrist, when you twist your wrist, to your throttle and to the carburetor when it starts to open up. So you want to be precise, because you want to have your scooter nice and responsive when you're riding, okay? It's very important. You want your scooter to react right away when you need it, okay? When you need the power to pass a car, when you need the power to do some kind of maneuver, okay? You need to have your scooter reliable and responsive, okay? On your scooter, you have two specific places where to adjust your cable throttle. You can adjust it from here for small adjustment, and right top of your carburetor, on your right side of the carburetor, you have an adjuster for the throttle cable, okay? Now this one is for small adjustment, the one on the carburetor is for larger adjustment, okay? So to adjust the throttle, you have the throttle adjuster down here. Okay, where is the cable? What I want you to do is just to turn your throttle forward right here, and you can use two pieces of tape like that, okay? Two little pieces of tape, and you turn the throttle forward, okay? Now you're gonna place this right here, okay? Right here on the throttle. And this one you're gonna place it on the body of the scooter right here. So you're gonna have more or less an idea, okay, where is your throttle at the moment, forward, okay? What you're gonna do, so you're gonna place two pieces of tape right here. So just the way you are gonna have a little reference, okay? Where is your throttle at the moment? So turn your throttle forward. When it stops, you place the tape right here so you can have a little point of reference, okay? So at this point, you're gonna turn the throttle back a little bit. So if you see slightly, my throttle goes back about 2 millimeters. Goes back about 2 millimeters, and that's okay, because between 1 millimeter to 3 millimeter your throttle is okay. If you are more than that, if your throttle goes back more than that, before it start to pulling the throttle cable, you need to change the adjustment, okay? Okay, if you have a measuring, you can measure this distance right here to see how many millimeters you have with this. And you can pour it forward and then you go back. So at this point, you see that my throttle is just barely 2.6 millimeter free play, and that's okay. Between 1 and 3 millimeter free play, it's okay. Above that, you need to adjust it, okay? So to adjust the free play, you have to go down here, right underneath. There is the cable and there is the adjuster, okay? Okay, if you look down here, we have a large adjuster, okay? This one is for the cable, or the throttle cable. we have one lock nut right here on the right side, that's smaller, and we have the big adjuster nut in forward, okay? Right in front of them. What you're going to do, you're going to loosen up the one that is forward, slightly a little bit. If you're loosening up, if you go clockwise, you will delete the gap. You will delete the free play, okay? Now, if you go counterclockwise, you will add the gap. You will get it more slack to the top, okay? Now you can do by hand, or you can get 2 wrenches. One is 10 millimeter for the lock nut, and one is 8 millimeter for the adjuster nut underneath, okay? So, if you're going clockwise with the larger nut, you are deleting the gap. You're having less gap, okay? Remember, turning this long adjuster clockwise, you're going to reduce the gap, the free play. Turning clockwise, okay? If you turn counterclockwise, you're going to have more gap, okay? Now, make sure you tight when you find the right specification, okay? That you don't have any or little bit of gap or a little bit of free play on your throttle. Make sure you tight the lock nut up here with the longer adjuster nice and tightly, so they're not going to move. Now for this one you're going to need an 8 millimeter, and for the lock nut you're going to need a 10 millimeter. In the same time, make sure you inspect the cable. Make sure it's not broken, okay? Because sometimes rain, water can go inside and make your cable rusty, okay? Everywhere you go, everywhere you do, make sure you inspect your motorcycle, okay? It takes few seconds to inspect the motorcycle. Be fine. Make sure if you have a cover to cover this part right here, because sometimes water, rain can go inside, and so you don't get any rust. If you don't have a cover, you can put a piece of electric tape going around, okay? So cover this part right here, okay? So right here, you have to make sure that the lines match on your tape that you put it on, and make sure you don't have a lot of delay, free play, okay? If you have too much free play, it's gonna be a delay between your wrist turning and the carburetor opening up, because you're going to have a gap at your throttle, okay? It's very important to have a fast reaction on your scooter when you really need it, okay? So, drive safe everybody, have a great day, and thank you very much for watching my video, and feel free to subscribe.